Hello, everyone. This is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this audio goes with my Uranus moving into Gemini post. We're calling it the Winds of Change. Uranus begins a new 7-year journey through Gemini, activating messages, memory, and magic. Deep breath. On July 7th of 2025, Uranus dips into Gemini for the first time in 84 years, beginning a powerful new 7-year cycle that will shake, rattle, and eventually awaken the part of your chart governed by the sign of the twins. This is just the beginning of a radical repatterning of consciousness at personal, social, and collective levels, a time when the way we think, communicate, and process our reality is about to be revolutionized. So buckle up. We are being initiated into a whole new mental landscape. Uranus is often called the change agent. It brings disruption, but not with malicious intent. Uranus does not destroy, it liberates. It shakes the ground beneath your feet only to crack open a new portal of perspective, one you might have never chosen on your own, but are better for having walked through it. Deep breath. This planet governs innovation, genius, freedom, and the unexpected. When it visits a sign or a house in your chart, it is time to wake up, break out of any outdated conditioning, and co-create a more authentic life. This transit through Gemini will last from 2025 to 2033. But between July and November of 2025, we will only get a preview. Uranus will move back into Taurus for one final time, November 7th of 25 through April 25th of 26, to help us finish that cycle before fully committing to Gemini in the spring of 2026. This is your moment to pay attention. What is beginning to stir in your consciousness? What conversations are emerging? What ideas are flickering? What truths are starting to sound louder than the old internal narratives? Deep breath. We're ready to tell a new story and break out of that old one. So Uranus, the 84-year spark of awakening, spends 7 years in each sign, meaning its complete cycle through the zodiac takes 84 years. Not everyone lives long enough to experience Uranus touching every single area of their chart, which makes each transit all the more sacred. We're talking about a once-in-a-lifetime invitation to break free from the status quo and awaken dormant gifts of perception, intelligence, and communication. When Uranus activates your chart, especially by conjunction, square, or opposition, so you know me, that's the starting point, midpoint, and the testing periods, it is like a lightning bolt to the nervous system. It cannot be ignored, and it does not ask for permission. What it does ask is, are you ready to stop playing small and live more fully as your authentic self? Gemini, as the mutable air sign of curiosity, words, ideas, and duality, which will amplify Uranus's brilliance and increase the speed at which you receive information on all levels. So expect rapid downloads, paradigm-shifting conversations, and flashes of your own unique genius. But also expect overwhelm if you do not have healthy personal practices, good mental boundaries, and clean filters in place. Gemini rules the way we process information, so you may need to adjust how, when, and what you take in. Clear the mental clutter, strengthen your discernment, practice mental and now digital hygiene, manage input-output, and create some space around your thoughts. Liberating the Gemini house in your chart. Wherever Gemini lives in your personal chart is about to go through a 7-year transformation. That part of your life, whether it's your relationships, work, health, spirituality, or creativity, is going to demand more truth, more originality, and more conscious communication. Old ways of speaking, thinking, or learning will no longer hold. Uranus will clear them out and invite in a new mental paradigm. If you have planets or points in Gemini, Sag, or Virgo, Pisces, pay special attention. These are the mutable signs, and they will be most intensely activated by this transit. Uranus is initiating your inner genius. You are being called to liberate your voice, your message, and your medicine. Ashe. If you have been brewing ideas, innovations, teachings, books, systems, technologies, this is your time. Follow the excitement, co-create with the chaos, and befriend the unexpected. Now, social and collective echoes, repeating history with new tools. This moment also echoes history. Uranus last moved through Gemini from 1941 to 1948, a time marked by global war, technological innovation, and massive shifts in how information was shared and used. Before that, it was in Taurus from 1934 to 1941, the years of the Great Depression, and the build-up to World War II. We are re-entering similar energetic terrain, but under a completely different sky. So while themes may repeat, our tools and consciousness are far more evolved. It is wise now to reflect on your ancestors, how they navigated these energies in their own time. What did they build or dismantle? What breakthroughs did they achieve under pressure? Call on their wisdom. Ask for their guidance as you walk your own version of this path with entirely new possibilities and timelines available to you. The sacred practices for this Uranian upgrade. You cannot control Uranus, but you can co-create with it. And here's how. Track your Gemini house to understand what part of life is being awakened and activated. Strengthen your nervous system. Uranus can short-circuit your clarity if you do not ground regularly. Breathe. Move your body, sleep, and rest your mind. Embrace the unexpected. Practice seeing change not as a threat, but as a spiritual invitation. Clear mental clutter. Journal, meditate, walk in nature. Turn off the screens. Make space for your inner genius to come through. And trust synchronicity. Uranus speaks through signs, sparks, and supposedly random conversations. Stay awake and you will see the pattern as it emerges. The best use of this long-term transformation is to clean and upgrade your personal filters of how you perceive the world around you. It is also good for radically shifting how you express yourself and your ideas, and it should inspire and awaken your own inner unique genius. Look at the ideas that you have been cultivating and how you've been expressing to see where change would be welcome and useful, and start there. For your Gemini planets, it's a major initiation and a rare awakening that should be taken advantage of since it takes 84 years to get around to here. Old ideas, thinking, and ways of self-expression are supported to change, and new ones will be magically presented in a synchronistic way. Interest in alternative ways and ideas will increase, along with science and technological advancements, not to mention an interest in astrology, possibly going to a whole new level in the collective consciousness. It is imperative that you stay mentally alert, flexible, and discerning because your nervous system can only process so much information in a given day. You must have good boundaries and personal practices for releasing non-essential information, distractions, and overwhelm. Indeed. Let this introduction between July and November of 2025 serve as your energetic compass. Pay attention to what is shifting. Honor your own inner oracle and prepare to embrace a completely new relationship to thoughts, ideas, truth, and communication over the next 7 years. Uranus is here to free your mind, and once you awaken to your own unique brilliance, you are never the same again. I wish you many blessings on this new path of awakening and encourage you to share your aha moments and personal breakthroughs along the way. So, Uranus and Gemini just dipping a toe. It's going to retrograde in Gemini, go back to Taurus, and it will re-enter Gemini next year, April 25th of 26. And that should be it. We will be having a call to go over what it's going to touch in this first year of 2025 on Thursday, July 10th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, if you'd like to join us for that. The Power Circle's getting together that night, and we'd love to have you. So join us when and where you can. Reach out directly when you need to. And thanks for listening. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.